You're wasting all your good juice while we're not recording, while we're not synced up, because this is the Hungover Podcast, episode 111. Today we're going to be discussing our E3 predictions, which is coming up next week. Well, yes, starting Sunday of this week, actually. So, as usual, I'm Julien.
And I'm Yvonne. We're going to have our famous steak dinner bet.
Yes.
I owe Julien 2 steaks now, and I will never pay up, apparently.
Well, we never actually time it out, but this will be the 3rd annual steak bet. And of course, we're recording this on June 4th, 2019. So, if anything gets announced, for instance, tomorrow by Nintendo, you know why we predicted it the way we did. Anyways, Yvonne, we start our podcast out every single week by asking each other... And wait, hold on. You can get this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. Don't forget you can get it on YouTube and sometimes on Twitch if we're feeling particularly sparky. And of course, it would be really great if you could review us on iTunes, because that really helps with our visibility. Now, don't forget that we start our podcast out every single week by asking each other, what media have you been consuming, and what did you drink last night? Yvonne?
So, media I've been consuming is a lot of sleep.
Yes, that's great. That's really
I'm
good
trying
for you.
to sleep because I'm just so tired nowadays. But, media I've consumed, I bought... so last week I went on a little bit of drunk Blu-ray buying spree.
Oh, nice.
And we were watching
ridiculous.
The Lord of the Rings Extended Edition on DVD on Sunday. I was like, man, this quality is not
edition.
as good. Exactly, yeah. So I was like, Blu-rays, let's get some Blu-rays. It was like half price from the original price, $140, so it was like $70.
Oh,
it was like,
wow.
One click, thank you.
Your favorite movie. Amazon, thanks.
So, my Blu-ray of The Lord of the Rings came. I was watching that. Laura finished it all in one day. I have yet to get through the second hour. She fell asleep in front of it, so I don't know if it fully counts. It
doesn't count. You have to be awake and paying attention the entire time for 9 hours straight.
Whoa. So, haven't done that yet. Planning on it. But I also ordered, the next day, John Wick 2 on Blu-ray, because I already have the first one.
Nice.
And Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Very cool. That movie came out on last year or 2 years ago?
It was one of those two for sure.
Thanks.
I think it was last year.
Okay. Let's go with that.
It was a really intense movie. It was pretty interesting, and I just wanted to rewatch it, and I haven't since, so I bought it on the Blu-ray.
Well, hopefully we can all get 8K TVs to completely redo our Blu-ray collection again for 8K Blu-rays.
Exactly.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, but I was watching The Lord of the Rings in Blu-ray, and there were a lot of like the heavy action scenes. It's really hard to watch. Like if you're focusing like you usually do, something between the frame rate of how either the frame rate or the refresh rate of the Blu-ray and the TV and my eyes, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna throw up.
That's not good.
I've never gotten motion sickness from a TV before, but I was really weird. Close. Yeah, it was. It's not happened with anything else, so it might just be the way that literally The Lord of the Rings was filmed.
Well, that was filmed a while ago, so maybe technology is advanced. I don't know.
But you can see a lot more of the movie magic on the Blu-ray as opposed to the DVD. A lot of the Blu-ray kind of breaks the illusion. So sometimes the DVD is a little better than the Blu-ray, but it's so much more clear on the Blu-ray.
Of course.
Crazy. Then, what did I drink? So I've been having a few beers this week. I had the Brooklyn Summer Ale last night at D&D.
That's one of my favorite. That's a good one.
D&D update. 2 weeks worth of D&D update, actually. Last week they fought 3 scarecrows and they fucking killed them super easily. I was super mad. And this week I almost killed all of them with a displacer beast.
Wow.
Which is like a 6-legged panther with tentacles on its back that kind of whip out and crush people.
Okay.
Awesome.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah, and I incapacitated one of the players by putting him to sleep and never touching him for the rest of the battle.
Just like Anna. Just like Anna.
Exactly. He's just sitting there like, let me play the game. He XQC'd right in front of me. And other than that, I have miraculously not been able to play video games in the past, like,
you're missing out
2
on
weeks,
the
weeks.
Overwatch anniversary, what's it called, event. You're missing out on a really great diva skin where she's wearing a schoolgirl outfit, and it is incredibly amazing. I've been grinding out loot boxes to get that for so long, and I didn't get it yet, and I'm really disappointed.
Okay.
Is that
so
all
Julien,
you've done? Oh,
that pretty much covers me. What have you been up to?
I've been continuing on my journey to play through Final Fantasy 12 before Super Mario Maker 2 comes out on the 28th, so I'm very excited to play that game. But Final Fantasy 12 is still pretty good. I had to do a bit of grinding to beat one of these bosses, which was not so bad because I could increase the game speed to ×4 with this new HD version on Switch, so it went pretty fast. Other than that, I watched Nikki and I have been watching Neon Genesis Evangelion. We finished the series, and then the TV anime series. So then we watched End of Evangelion, which is the movie that is supposed to take place during after episode 24. So it's a retelling of the end of the show. Or at least the events leading up to the end of the show. It's the true ending of the show, apparently. Then we watched the Rebuild 1.0, which is, I'm not exactly sure why we have to watch this, but you're supposed to watch it after the end of Evangelion, or so Reddit tells me. And this is basically a retelling of the show's story, but with much better production value because they had a budget for a full feature-length film and much better animation as a response. Not that the show had bad animation. It was actually you could tell that they allocated the budget for each episode based on the story arc. They allocated the budget, or at least this is my theory, they allocated the most budget for the end of each episode because each episode typically ends in a large fight between the large robots in the show. So, and it's all pretty much, I think it's all hand animated. I mean, it's an old show anyways. So you can tell that they had a specific amount of money, so they can only have this long of a fight scene at the end of each episode. And so they had to write the story in that way. Or at least that's my theory anyways. So we're going to watch the next Rebuild hopefully on Thursday, which is supposed to...
How many rebuilds were there?
I think there's either 2 or 3. I'm not really sure. I'll look it up, all right? I can't really tell. And apparently there's still one in production, so who fucking knows, man? This show is very confusing. And I'll try to have some sort of opinion on the show after watching all of it. Other than that, though, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, as I just said, trying to grind out those loot boxes because I do really like the skins. The new skins that they have are really nice, and so I want to get them.
I just checked them out. They look really cool.
They're actually really cool skins.
I like this toxic one for Roadhog.
Yeah, that one's awesome. I got the Widowmaker one just in a loot box. I don't want to spend any money on loot boxes, so I'm not going to. I'll just I'll give up. But because the anniversary event increases the loot pool to everything that's ever been released for the game, that it's actually incredibly difficult. You have to get pretty lucky to get the thing that you want. And also it means that you're not getting any duplicates of anything, because if you haven't gotten all the fucking sprays, then you're not going to get any cash or the gold that duplicates give you. So you're not going to be able to buy the thing that you want at the end of the event. It's so annoying.
Oh, that's double fucked.
So annoying. Gotta keep grinding. Must get the diva skin. Anyways, yeah, that's about it. Oh, sorry.
I had a total anime moment last week in my D&D game.
Oh, sweet.
So what happens is, like, so in Critical Role, that when the last baddie dies, the dungeon master says, "How do you want to do this?" And the player gets to describe how his character's killed it. So when I did it, the damage that the character would have dealt would have obliterated this character. So I said, "How do you want to do this?" And he described this whole thing. And then I did a total DBZ moment where, like, there's this cloud of, like, smoke and ash and all this, and then it dissipates, awesome. And the character is just there, like, the enemy's there, unharmed.
That's pretty cool.
This is total DBZ moment.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can interject.
Sorry. The last thing...
Totally professional podcast.
Anyways, the last thing that I've been doing is that because Hideo Kojima announced the release date of Death Stranding, then I said that I'm going to play all of the Metal Gear Solid games, 1 through 5, of course, on my Twitch channel. And so I started that last Friday. I'm going to be streaming them every Friday because that's the day I have the most time to stream. And I got through up to Psycho Mantis in Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. That's the one version of the game I'm going to be playing, as opposed to Metal Gear Solid 1, originally on PlayStation 1. That game is really fun. I really, really like that game. It's awesome. It's a little archaic in the control scheme, but once you get used to it, it's just like such a great game. All the cutscenes, it's like a fucking masterpiece. This game is so good. All the characters are so dope. The boss battles are so cool, and just everything. The story's awesome. It's just a fantastic game. I highly suggest you go check it out. Either emulate it. Who cares about Konami? You know, Kojima isn't getting any of this money, so fucking emulate the game, steal it, whatever, because Konami sucks by getting rid of... This guy is a genius making these games. So I'm super excited to play through them. And I should just be able to make it if I play at least 4 hours every Friday of a Metal Gear Solid game. Because Metal Gear Solid 5 is around 50 hours long, which is really annoying. Anyways, that's about it for me, Yvonne. But we have a stake bet to do. Do you know the exact rules of the stake bet? Can we recall?
The exact rules of the stake bet?
Yeah, we have to abide by the rules.
There are, I think it's like a $50 cap.
Oh, on the stake.
On the stake itself.
Sure.
But
fine.
The person who gets the most points gets the stake. And unbeknownst to me, in the first one, you could get partial points.
Okay, fine.
So Julien totally cheated in the first
I see you're
stake
painting
bet.
A picture here.
And then in the second bet, he watches a lot and consumes a lot more gaming news. So in the second one, he knew a lot more about it going in.
Oh, so it's just not fair.
And was just repeating what IGN was saying basically the whole time. So he knew everything ahead of time.
Fine with me.
Whereas me, who never participates in video game news journalism, I lost because I was throwing out some radical cool shit that everybody wanted to see the news instead of whatever.
And also, hold on, I just wanted to say, if you're still listening 15 minutes in, that thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We finally hit our goal of 100 subscribers.
100.
That means Yvonne has to make us a YouTube video. It will be a Let's Play. He's pissed off. He agreed to it, though. It will be a Let's Play. We're going to try to do a Steam $5 challenge. And guess what's coming up soon, Yvonne.
Oh my God, it's the Steam sale. It's
The Steam summer sale. So we're going to try to do it when that starts, or at least during it at some point. And I think that's a really good idea, because then we have way more games at our
disposal.
Yes.
I can torture Julien with such shit.
But it might be a good... Anyways, yeah, so we'll get to that, more on that later, I suppose, maybe at the end of the podcast. And so basically, we are going to go through our predictions for E3, and they will be set in stone after the end of the podcast. And then we're going to do a follow-up podcast next week where we react to E3 announcements, and we see who got the most points at the end, and whoever does ends up buying a steak for the other, if we ever get around to that, because we don't live in the same place.
Yes. I shared with you my set-in-stone document.
Very
Boom.
Cool. You can't edit that at all. Yes, very cool. So... I'll just take a picture of my scribbled. Anyways, yeah. So, Yvonne, would you like to start us off?
Fuck no, but I'll do it anyway.
Okay.
So we're gonna only do the 2 conferences this year because
that are
Sony
important
bitched
to us.
Out.
Fuck Ubisoft and Square Enix, and I think Bethesda has one. I'm not sure.
Whatever. They're just gonna have a presence on the Microsoft stage anyway. So what's
yeah,
the
I know.
point?
What is the point?
Microsoft and Nintendo are the ones that we're going with. I want to start with Microsoft.
I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, it's probably the one that more people will tune into, but not as hardcore fans will tune into.
And also, I think they really have like a really great position to talk about the future of Microsoft as a gaming company, and also they definitely have a really great position to get the edge on Sony, who is their main competitor at the time right now. So I think this is a really good opportunity for them. I'm excited.
I'm gonna already go with a trump card here.
Whoa.
And I'm gonna switch my bonus out for one of the other ones.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say Phil Spencer,
he's the man,
the host of the Microsoft Game Presser, the press conference, whatever, will wear more than one outfit.
Whoa, this is a risque announcement, and of course that will be done because when the stage goes black to show a sweet trailer, he gets the chance to perhaps change his outfit, or maybe they cut to someone else on the stage who's driving a car, for instance, or like driving a Ferrari around the stage, and then he gets to change out of his costume there. That would be pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. Maybe some hints at a future game. That's a bold prediction there, Yvonne.
I think it'll happen because 2 years ago he wore like 6 different shirts. Last year he stayed with everything that what he started with. He wore throughout the whole thing. I think this year he will go back to wearing different things.
I see.
Because why not? Julien, you're up.
Well,
next 2 are you.
I think that this is how it's gonna open up. This is my prediction for Microsoft. They have to hit hard with the fans, all right? And we haven't heard many rumblings about the next installment of Gears of War. I think they're going to start the press conference off with a Gears of War trailer, and it's going to be nuts. All right? This shit, I have no other predictions outside of that for the Gears of War trailer. They're just going to open up the conference with the Gears of War. And this will strike the hearts of many who care about the Gears of War story 4 installments in. I'm not sure how many of you people are left, but I played Gears of War 4. It was a fun game, but I don't really care about the story.
I called for Gears last year, and they let me down.
Didn't they show a Gears trailer last year? I thought they did. Oh, maybe it was 2017.
I think they showed something, but I expected more.
basically, this trailer is going to continue the story that Gears of War 4 left off with, and that's my prediction for that. Next up, you said I have 2 predictions to go through. I think that we also haven't seen a Forza Motorsport game in a very long time, and I think Forza Motorsport 8 is going to be announced at the conference. I really think this is a good way for them to show off their sweet Xbox One X tech and really push the graphics engines to their limits. That's my prediction for the first 2 anyways. The last Forza Motorsport was Forza Motorsport 7. And I think that came out 2 or 3 years ago. And then they had Forza Horizon 4? I don't know. They alternate typically. And so we'll see. I think they're going to announce Forza Motorsport 8 at this conference.
Well, going off of that, the company that brought you Forza. is making the new Fable game.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know
and
that. Wait, there's a Fable game coming out?
Yeah.
Was that announced?
My new thing is a new numbered Fable game. We'll have a trailer with a presenter in a graphic tee with a sports coat, and an approximate release quarter and year will be announced.
That's fantastic. This is great. Okay. Yeah, they're always like really cringy. They have a t-shirt and a sports coat. Oh.
It's a graphic tee with the sports coat.
Oh, you can't really be wearing this. And they have like sneakers on too. It's like the
jeans, graphic tee, sneakers, and some sort of sports coat.
Who dressed you? I know someone dressed you, because it's not like you get to choose what you wear on stage. Oh my, or is it? I don't know how this works.
I really want to show my personality, so could you just put me in like
my
a Donkey Kong t-shirt or something?
It's so cringy. All of these press conferences are cringy, but I like Nintendo's approach more because they actually record it ahead of time, so then they can just cut out all the cringy pauses and the mistakes that they make. I don't know. Anyways, that's your next prediction?
That's my next one.
That's a
so
very
now
good
we
prediction.
can either alternate each.
I think so.
One each, or keep going 2 and 2.
All right. We'll alternate.
Okay.
So,
sounds good.
My next prediction. Microsoft last year discussed that they had acquired a couple of new studios. First-party studios under the first-party Microsoft label.
13.
Up to, I think it's 14 now. I think they had 13 and then they acquired one more, if I'm not mistaken. I think that my prediction will be no fewer than 5 of these studios under the first-party Microsoft acquisition will announce a first-party game at the conference. So we're going to get at least 5 new Microsoft first-party games, and that's my prediction. I'm very excited for Microsoft to announce the future of Xbox gaming, of which they've pretty much announced all of the games are coming to PC, which is really exciting for me, which means your PC is essentially an Xbox now. We don't have to buy Xboxes anymore. Thank God.
Yes.
And you can... yeah.
No, keep going.
Sorry. And I think they said that they're going to try to bring the games to Steam, or their first-party games to Steam, which is really exciting news for PC gamers out there. I think that was just announced. But, alas, that was my prediction, Vaughn.
I will follow that up with my prediction that Halo Infinite will have
from 343
a
Studios.
release quarter teased. And there will be gameplay footage of Halo on the PC.
Whoa. That's exciting. I think I definitely agree with that. I think they will. It was a game I haven't thought of until literally today that you you brought it up when we were discussing before the podcast, and I haven't thought of that game in so long because it's sort of they haven't announced anything new about it in so long, any news. So I think this is definitely.
I thought the Master Chief coming to PC was the big news.
Yeah, that's Master Chief Collection, but that's not Halo Infinite, right? So this game has had no news, even though it's a highly anticipated game, right? It's the next Halo game to come out. And so I'm really excited for this game, and I think the absence of Sony it's really going to hurt Sony right now, because Halo Infinite is such a force to be reckoned with that I think Microsoft can really capitalize on that. So that's really cool. I really hope that they show some gameplay on like a 4K, a 1020, was it RTX 2080 Ti TV PC. That would be amazing.
I
Ray
played
tracing.
Halo on the PC when it was like a demo.
The original, right?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And there was like a community of people who would just hardcore play Capture the Flag in Blood Gulch on the PC.
Oh my
and it
God.
was dope.
Halo is very exciting, which is why my next prediction involves Halo. We're going to get the Halo Master Chief Collection, or at least the Halo Reach portion of it, PC release date. Very safe bet. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce this. And that's right, Yvonne. I did it. I slid it in there. So I'm really excited for this game to come out. Of course, we're big fans of Halo here at Hungover Gaming, or at least I am.
It's what we bonded on.
It's
this
true.
Is one
this
of
is
the
why
games
we're friends.
That made us friends.
So I cannot wait for. I mean, Halo Reach was not my favorite in the series, but I cannot wait for Master Chief Collection to be completed on PC. I think that it'll be completed sooner rather than later, but I think they've said that they're going to start with Halo Reach, and they had a presentation recently that was around an hour long, or maybe 40 minutes, where they showed off some gameplay from Halo Reach Master Chief Collection PC Edition, and they discussed a lot of the features that it's going to have. So I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. And it looks great.
I think Halo Reach would have been better received if it hadn't come directly after Halo 3.
Yes, it's hard to follow up Halo 3, which was one of the best games in the series,
Of
all time, I would agree. I love that game. Love that game so much. Just give it to me. All right.
I will follow your very safe bet.
Okay.
With a very risky bet.
Risque. What is this?
Project xCloud.
God damn it.
Will have a performance test on stage. And the ability to access the public beta will start within 24 hours of the Microsoft press conference.
Whoa. That is huge, because I'm assuming it's running on some similar technology as Google Stadia, which they've announced is pretty much up and running. I would assume they're going to announce the release date soon for Google Stadia, I think.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. That would be an exciting thing.
Microsoft has to make a big splash
Yes.
to combat Google Stadia, and I think that they're going to push for their software to be ready for public testing, which they already said would happen in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no better platform than E3 to get a lot of attention to public testing your product.
Definitely. I agree so much, and I really think great minds think alike, Yvonne, because my next prediction is that Project xCloud, codename, of course, we're going to get some details on this. Perhaps we're going to get the open beta that you say, of course. But I think we're going to get more details across the line, along the lines of what it physically is in terms of hardware. Of course, I think the service, as you predict, will be possibly in beta form and access to everyone. But I think we're going to get more details on the physical hardware that goes along with Project xCloud that you can buy from, I guess, the Microsoft Store, wherever you would buy it. I think that's what we're going to get.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited. You
think
know what? I'm really excited for Microsoft for once. I'm usually not. I don't really care about them, but
last year they had a good presser, I
I think
felt.
so. But I really did. I mean, they had a good presser in terms of setting the stones for this one, I think, which is really, I think, where they're going to knock some socks off because they really have a chance now. They have a lot of first party games, I think, or they will. And that's really why you want to gravitate towards a platform of choice, for instance. Because, I mean, Nintendo, it thrives on their characters that they create, and so that's why you would want to buy a Nintendo Switch to begin with. However, there's honestly no reason to buy an Xbox currently, I don't think, um, unless if you have a powerful PC. If you don't, then obviously there is. It's a good system.
I would just say that the price point and barrier to entry is much lower
Yeah,
for Xbox.
that's why you'd want to buy an Xbox, of course. But at that point, I say just get the PS4, especially now that they're having a huge sale on PS4 and PS4 games, because there's all those exclusives.
Shit.
What?
I totally forgot about the Nintendo Switch buffed up edition.
Yeah, it's possible. Would you like to transition into Nintendo predictions then, Yvonne? Because
I would,
think we've wrapped
as long as I get one bonus.
Oh, of course.
You've won 2 years in a row. This
Yes.
is a wild bonus
For Microsoft?
from Microsoft.
Okay, what is this?
Ninja Theory
Oh,
will have an announcement trailer during the presser, and it will focus on a female protagonist.
ooh, that's exciting. I think that's very possible. Very possible. We'll see. Yvonne, also, I think Xbox has been looking to expand Xbox Live services to many other platforms, not just Xbox itself. I think they're looking to expand it to Nintendo platforms. I don't necessarily think they're going to discuss it, but it would be really cool to get some more details on what their vision is for Xbox Live as a platform for voice chat and services like that.
Interesting.
So, because Nintendo currently doesn't have anything like that. So, and achievements, that would be pretty cool. So they started to roll that out with Cuphead, I believe, and Fortnite, if I'm not mistaken, on Nintendo Switch. You can use Xbox Live in some capacity. So I think that Nintendo and Microsoft are going to partner in that respect in some way. That we might not get
cost effective for Nintendo.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
Shot the bed with their own service.
Anyways, enough discussion about Nintendo. Unless we're gonna predict some Nintendo things.
So terrible with online.
Don't ask me, dude.
Julien, I went first with Microsoft. Nintendo is your baby. Why don't you lead us off?
Now, as we all know, I love Nintendo. You know, the Nintendo Switch is my favorite console currently, and I really love this thing. It's got all my favorite games on. I spent countless hours playing it. So let's start off. Nintendo has announced that they're going to be discussing 2019 games for Nintendo Switch that are coming out in 2019. Now, we all know, Yvonne, that Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, Super Mario Maker 2, and Zelda Link's Awakening, as well as Pokemon Sword and Shield, are coming out this year. That's a lot of games to fucking play, dude. Holy shit. And that's just this year. So I predict that Luigi's Mansion will get a release window or a release date in October. I think they'll say the release date for Luigi's Mansion 3, and it's going to be in October. That's my prediction. Playing it safe here. You never know with Nintendo. They could do literally anything. They're crazy.
They are crazy. This is a crapshoot.
There's no way to predict Nintendo.
Alone from not knowing what Nintendo does, just on a daily basis.
Yes.
I have no idea what they'll do tomorrow and the next day and for their video direct. So, I will say I'll go pretty safer.
Okay.
There will be a game which will be featured as newly arriving to Switch, whose original release date was in the year 2017 or older.
Interesting. Very interesting. You're saying they're going to port something to Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
The port machine of the gods, because it's portable.
But it will be featured in their Nintendo Direct.
Well, I think that's a very safe bet. But it would be pretty funny if you got and it came out in 2018.
I know,
Let's
right?
go. No, that's a good prediction.
I thought I'd throw a little bit of intrigue with 2017.
That's great. Very good. I have two. I'll go two more.
I got the next two.
Oh,
right?
you got the next two. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Two.
Sorry.
My God.
I don't even know the rules.
Zelda, Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Will have a video segment lasting 46 seconds.
Whoa.
And will have a release date solidified.
So you're gonna have to time this, buddy.
Yeah, give me a plus
46?
or minus on this one. Plus or minus 5 seconds?
Yeah, I'll give you plus or minus 5
give
seconds for that.
5 seconds on the side.
You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it, buddy. Gonna need
I
it.
know.
Wait, what was the release date you said?
It will have a release date solidified.
Oh,
That's what I said.
Well, I'll dare to go bolder, Yvonne. I like your specificity with the length of the trailer. I'll go with a specific release date in December. I think this game needs a little more time, and I think that Zelda games are the type of game that you want to block out a lot of time for, because they're really special experiences. So I think Nintendo sort of owns December as a whole in terms of game releases, because they typically do release a game in December. And it is typically actually a pretty big game. I think they value holiday time and time off, and they want to give you a really cool experience during that time. And so I think a really special way to do that would be, and a special way to send off the year would be to release this game in December.
That makes total sense to me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for that game. I love that game. I like the original game on Game Boy. I played through it when it was released for 3DS and the Virtual Console, and I really enjoyed that game. So I can't wait to play it again.
I have never played a Zelda game.
Man, you're actually missing out. They're kind of really fantastic games. They're kind of.
I know. I'm waiting for the
beefed
beefed up Switch, which I plan to buy, and then I will just cruise through everything that's existed.
Good idea. Good idea.
With all this glorious free time I have.
You should capitalize on Twitch Prime right now, because they're giving out, I mean, it's only $20 a year, but they're giving out free Nintendo online subscription for a year right now. So you should just register. Might as well, right?
Might as well.
If it works.
It's $20. That's a $20 investment for free.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyways, what's your next?
My third prediction is that we will have a first look at a new core Animal Crossing game for Switch.
Yes. Wow. Thanks, Yvonne. You son of a bitch. I dare to go bolder again. I agree with you. I think we will see Animal Crossing at E3 2019. What a surprise. I think it's going to get a release date in November. I think that's when the game releases. So we've got Luigi's Mansion 3 in October, Animal Crossing in November, and Link's Awakening in December. I think Pokemon is an entire entity to its own that gets to choose wherever the fuck it wants to come out. So it doesn't matter.
What day do Nintendo games come out?
On Thursdays, typically. And I think that September is too early for Animal Crossing to come out. I would like it then, obviously, but I think that typically Pokemon games come out at the end of October or November. That's generally the time that they come out, but I could be wrong about that. I have no predictions about Pokemon because I think we're going to get all of the information tomorrow, June 5th, in the Pokemon Direct. That's my that's my prediction.
I say
yes.
Cadence of Hyrule.
Oh, I'm excited for that game. That game looks so cool.
We'll have an exact June release date revealed. The date of which
E3,
will be June 20th.
I think that's fine. But I also think they might say it's available right now. That's not my prediction. I personally think that everyone's clamoring for this game due to the Zelda crossover, and I think they're just going to say it's available now, bitches. Let's go. Even though games do typically release on Thursday for Nintendo. And I think their press conference is on Tuesday. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. My next prediction has to do with one of my favorite games, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think we're going to get some more information about DLC characters. I think we're going to get a release date of a DLC character. We're going to get information on the next DLC character, right? I can't predict this guy, Sakurai. He's a nut. He works at Nintendo, so he must be crazy. And he makes Super Smash Brothers. So I have no claim to predict what the hell he's deciding, all right? I don't make those predictions. But I will predict that the character's coming out in September. And I think that's their big September situation going on. They got a character.
You're
going.
all about the months. If I've recalled
Nintendo
anything from the years that we've
it's
done
all about
this,
the months.
It's all about the months.
It's how you get the extra points, Yvonne.
I know, I realize.
Do you have another prediction for Nintendo?
My fifth and final, off the walls, bananas, you might say, prediction.
What's it going to be?
A new Donkey Kong game will be revealed.
New Donkey Kong game?
Nobody is clamoring for it, but I know Nintendo is going to deliver on something that no one wants, but everyone needs.
It's
and
true.
I think a new Donkey Kong game is crazy.
Yeah, I could see it happening. I wouldn't personally want that, actually, because I don't really like the Donkey Kong series, but I do. I've never really
Donkey Kong
liked
64 or whatever was a fun game. I actually did play that one.
That game was ass, man.
That was a fun game. I was like 8 or whatever.
That's hilarious. Well, anyways, I've got one last prediction for you. You know, I like Donkey Kong and Smash. I'll give you that.
I mostly like Donkey Kong and Smash.
I've got one last prediction for you, Vaughn. Now, we've seen one time in the past with, everything's new with Nintendo, right? We've got this new online service, and they decided to throw out of the blue Tetris 99 at us, right? That was free. Mm-hmm. That was a free service if you have the online service. So it was really nice of them to do that. I think during this Nintendo Direct, they're going to drop another free game. It'll be a free game along the likes of Tetris 99. Not necessarily a battle royale, but it will be a free game announced for the Nintendo online service, and it'll be available during right after the Direct ends. And that's my prediction for Nintendo. I think they're going to do it again. They struck gold with Tetris 99. Can they do it again, Yvonne? I think they can.
That's a really difficult bar to cross, because Tetris was dope.
It was dope, and it still is dope. People play that game like every day. It's crazy. So yeah, do you have any closing remarks? What are you particularly excited for? Do you care about video games anymore, Yvonne? You only
I'm
do this for me.
for the major AAA stuff that I will most likely play.
Like what?
Just Halo.
Halo.
If any Halo stuff, Halo coming to PC is kind of
the big
super
thing for you.
Fanboying. I'm I don't really have a lot of franchises that I play, and I would really like there to be. I mean, I don't know what the news is or anything gathering around this stuff, as you clearly saw from my predictions. I would like to see more integration of new technology like VR, AR in a way that is actually interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be really cool. I would also like to see a really, really great Star Wars single player experience.
Oh, wait, didn't we? I think they have one in the making right now. What's it called? It was announced. Shit. There's like Shadow. No, I'm thinking of the new Star Wars game. Like you can already pre-order it.
Oh, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, Fallen Order. I think that's the game. What do you think is gonna happen with the other? There's still one game we didn't even discuss at all that we've discussed an entire podcast on is Cyberpunk 2077. I think that game.
I have no idea what's going to happen with that.
I think that game is going to be on the Microsoft stage for sure, and I think we're going to get a lot of information about it. So I think that's definitely a game that Microsoft is totally in cahoots with now. And so we might see some PC footage. I think Microsoft is going all in on saying on these games. They'll specify when it's on Xbox One X, but they'll also specify when it's running on a PC, I think, because they're really trying to merge the two and just have a place for where you can play your game anywhere. That's their whole thing.
Remember when they were like Xbox One X is where everyone's going to play video games?
Yeah.
And then they looked at their sales and they were like, shit, PC. It's where everyone's going to play video games.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre, right? I don't. It seems like Microsoft is really trying to throw any idea they have at the wall and see what sticks. So, and I think
they careened really hard with this generation of console, and then they invested a ton of hardware money and didn't see a really significant increase in
Xbox
the way
sales,
that the audience reacted with purchases.
Right.
So Xbox has always been a money loser, but now they're like, wow, this is maybe unrecoverable. So how do we balance out the losses on Xbox with our system on PC?
Yeah, well, if I'm not mistaken, they announced that Games Pass is coming to PC as a whole because they're also bringing all their first-party games over to PC, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think so, yeah.
Or they said something about Games Pass coming to PC.
Games Pass
I know you can do it already, but
I was reading about it. I don't know the exact things, but it was definitely that vein. Yeah,
Microsoft seems to be trying to get into the PC market in their own way, as opposed to, like, for instance, Epic or Steam. And I think they're really going to side with Steam on this Epic versus Steam debacle that's been going on. Epic has been securing a lot of video games exclusively, at least a timed exclusive, on PC, so you have to use their launcher in order to launch the game and buy the game. So because they have all this Fortnite money that they've been banking for a while. And a lot of people are really pissed off about it. I'm not entirely sure why, but I guess I am. I guess I agree with it. I don't really want to download the Epic game launcher, and I can see how that could get annoying. It's just another icon on my fucking screen.
Exactly. But that's how I feel.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for what Microsoft has to offer. It's on Sunday, and I'm super excited for Nintendo, but that's just because I'm a fanboy. Are you excited for Nintendo announcements at all?
Obliquely. Okay. I like when you get excited about things. It kind of makes me happy. So I like when you can get excited about some stuff.
I'm excited for Nintendo. What do you think Ubisoft has to discuss? Because they have a conference as well.
Ooh, I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Apparently, they're going to discuss this new Watchdog game, which got leaked. They always manage to leak just on time for E3. and then they discuss a game that's coming out. I think they're going to take a break from Assassin's Creed. I think they've successfully done. A lot of people liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and so I think that's their new plan to stop annualizing games and sort of give people time to breathe in between these sequels. And I think they've exhausted Far Cry, because I believe they released 2 Far Cry games this year or last year. Within a year. I know it might have overlapped at like January, but they released a new Far Cry game recently, and they had Far Cry 5 last year, I think. And so I honestly don't really like Ubisoft games that much. I think they've sort of gotten a little, like, they're just all, personally, I think they're all kind of the same game. They're like they're pretty well designed games, and that it's a huge open world and there's enemies to kill or whatever, but it just seems really monotonous to play these types of games. There's a lot of different side quests that are all pretty much the same, and you capture a base or whatever, and then you unlock part of the map.
And there are dozens and dozens of enemies, eagle feathers.
Yeah, and of course the first person mechanics of Far Cry are probably pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that type of thing, but it just seems like a really safe game. Or for them, it's just an open world festival of nonsense. And I know people like these games, and clearly people keep buying them, because they're going to keep making them if you guys keep buying them. So I just don't need to play that game right now anyways. I'm sure it's fun, but that's my opinion of Ubisoft. So I'm not excited at all for their conference. Square Enix, on the other hand, they can discuss Final Fantasy VII Remake. That would make me happy.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, because then you can play through it. Otherwise, I have no idea what Square Enix is going to discuss, or why they're having a conference. So I'm I have my excitations, my hopes reserved for them. I hope that Final Fantasy Remake is a cool game, but I don't know if it's going to be a good game. I have no idea. We'll see. It's too overhyped. There's no way they could live up to the hype. Impossible. It's loved by too many people, and they've been talking about this remake for 5+ years, and it's gonna end up like Kingdom Hearts 3, that sort of fizzled out. That game came out and no one liked it. People like the diehard fans really liked that game, but no one else really liked that game. and the hype about that game just sort of died down. So,
but they also made fun of people for not understanding that game.
Exactly. So that's what they do.
You know.
Anyways, and I am not a big fan of what Bethesda's been doing lately with Fallout 76 and Elder Scroll Blades, and they're just blatantly lying to people, and I really don't like the direction that Bethesda's going personally, but that's just my opinion. I think they're being assholes, because they've made some of my favorite games, and now they're just making shit games. So I don't know what Bethesda's doing. We'll see if they have anything interesting to announce. I highly doubt it.
I do too. I think a lot of the studios that we fell in love with as kids are just not pumping out. They're not bringing out a lot of great titles
or interesting new ideas. I think they're sort of falling into the rabbit hole of games as a service, which is a really it's how people make money, but it's nowadays, or it's how these executives, it's how the publishers are making a lot of money nowadays. It's just they're trying to grab your time, right? And trying to have you sink hours upon hours into their game, and only their game, and I only have a certain amount of time, right? So that's what Fallout 76 was aiming to do, right? They were trying to capitalize on this sort of wave that I think honestly started Well, it started way before Destiny, but I think it became really mainstream when Destiny came out. This sort of cycle of releasing a game that's not finished at all, like Destiny was, and then getting people hooked somehow with loot and whatever. I don't know. I got hooked to that game, and then making it better over time with the promise that the game was going to be made better over time. And Bethesda, the Todd Howard had an interview on IGN recently, I think just today, basically admitting that that was their plan, to release a broken game. They said, not in that exact wording, but basically to release a crap game with the expectation that it would get better over time. So I don't even understand.
That's really shitty.
That's really shitty, and I don't know. So I do not like that. That's where game industry is going now. But maybe we can learn some new things from Microsoft and Nintendo, as they're the industry leaders, and they can decide. They can really push us forward in a different direction. I think we'll see.
I think people need to pay more attention to Nintendo, who has great single player games.
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, you can make money off of it. It's
and
not like billions and billions and billions of dollars maybe every time, but you can make a really great single player experience that people want to come back to again and again.
Yeah, and Nintendo also just announced their new voucher program, which is pretty cool. You can purchase 2 game vouchers for $100. So you're essentially buying 2 games for $100 as opposed to $120. So you just end up saving so much money with Nintendo. And every game that you buy, they give you coins. They call them coins, and you can cash the coins in for discounts on further purchases in games. So I think they're doing purchasing of games a lot better than a lot of companies, as opposed to like Microsoft or Sony, which have sales quite frequently. But Nintendo also has sales on their eShop all the time. So I think there's like a lot of money to be saved on the Nintendo side of things, even though a lot of their games that come out now are more expensive. I don't know. It like actually evens out, but in my head, it's better on Nintendo. Anyways, we end our podcast every single week in a song in a segment called Hungover Radio. This is where you, the listener or viewer, can send in your music to gaminghungover@gmail.com. If that doesn't happen, then I get to pick a song, which will be a video game song. Unless Yvonne has one right now. I don't even have one.
No, I'm just listening to the Witcher soundtrack for D&D nights.
All right, we're going to play the Witcher 3 main theme.
Kaer Morhen is really good.
Kaer Morhen? How do you spell that?
Kaer. Morhen is Morhagen, I think.
Nice. Extended. We're going to play the Kaer Morhen. Oh, I know this song, actually. I think it's in Soul Calibur 6, which is a great game. Yeah, we're going to play the Kaer Morhen theme song of Witcher 3, essentially, for you guys right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Tell us what your E3 predictions are. I'm really glad Yvonne gave us some sweet predictions. I hope there's an upset here. Maybe
you have better predictions than me, listener, audience member. Let me know in the comments below how badly I predicted it.
Also, be sure to tune in next week for our E3 Reactions podcast. And yeah, we're going to be super hype or maybe really disappointed. We'll find out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We hit 100. Don't forget, Yvonne's making a video.
Thank you.
Yeah, we obviously appreciate your support. And I intend to put some more videos on the channel as well. I've just been incredibly busy with outside of YouTube things. But that all ends.
Imagine that.
Soon.
You're finishing your dissertation and I work like 60 hours a week.
Exactly. Exactly. But we're going to try our hardest to get more videos out for you guys.
We are.
Because we appreciate you. So Thanks everyone for watching the podcast or listening, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.